we did a long running program, didn't we? It was what, over 18 months. But this particular one, I'm really keen that it should be totally honest, right? Because I hate it when people sort of taste stuff and think, oh, it's marvelous, but you're tasting your own food. You're not going to say, well, that's crap, are you? So I really, really want this to be an honest program. Yeah.
Well, it's really sad because then they can say it's crap, but because I always cook such wonderful food anyway, you know, it's one-sided, isn't it? Everybody's going to say, look at it, especially if you've got your daughter there.
I'll tell you, it reminds me, right, one of the programs, you were doing a soup, it was a Chinese one. And as usual, you couldn't get the blender to work.
You know what happened last time? Keep the motor running while you were digging things out there with your fingers.
Well, he didn't say it. Yeah. I didn't see the instructions. He didn't say don't put your finger in when the motor's running, did he?
And who's the stupid one? I'll rest my case.
It's lovely. I like this.
You can't really talk, can you? That's the trouble. You can't talk while it's on.
What are you doing then, Shani?
Well, I'm just going to chop up all these ingredients.
All that. Okay. Oh, this is a good one, isn't it? I'm going to pulse this. Look, can you see it going down? That's all right. Okay. Now, I would have probably, if I was doing it properly, I would liquidize that. But it doesn't matter.
We haven't got time, have we, really?
No, not really. But I'm sure they know by now that all our recipes work and they all taste wonderful, do they not?
Right.
There were some funny times on that show, weren't there?
We had
you know what I think it was? Because we filmed 4 shows at one sitting, one day, they never did a second take. It was all live, first take only. So they kept all the mistakes in. And that's why I think we had such a huge following in like Wormwood Scrubs and places like that. Because it was a comedy show, wasn't it?
Don't go down that one. It got to be a bit tedious and it got a bit strange. And you're right, when we were doing 4 programs a day, they insisted on us changing into 4 different outfits. So I've got thousands of size like 10, she lied, outfits.
Were you size 10? Do you refresh my memory?
My leg was a size 10 once.
First of all, it's vegan, and that, you know, I mean, Sri Lanka, we were eating vegan before vegan was invented even.
Yeah, don't speak smack about vegan.
No, in this context, I agree. It doesn't have anything to do.
All right,
So,
the other thing with cashew nuts is they are very good health-wise, right? They've got, well, apart from the obvious things like monounsaturated fat, very good for the heart, lowers LDL, all the buzzwords at the moment. It's got a huge amount of copper in it, and copper boosts your immune system. And I thought, particularly at this time, everyone could do with a boost of their immune system, couldn't they, with COVID-19 around? I soaked them in salt water overnight, and they do plump up, see? Because the dry ones, you know, they're looking, well, they're dehydrated, aren't they? So it does actually increase in volume by maybe 50%.
Oh.
And then we've got chili powder. This is cumin powder. This is turmeric. And this is supposed to be, actually, this is supposed to be green chili, right? But because my green chilies are tiny and they're very hot, so you're supposed to use, I think it's 2 green chilies in the recipe, but I use these tiny little chilies, but I miss the smell of the proper green chili and the looks of it. So I cut up about half a small capsicum as well to give the because this gives you the sort of chili smell, but not the heat, obviously, yeah? And then these are garlic and ginger, and of course, pandanus leaf. And then,
You grate the ginger.
yes, grated the ginger, fresh ginger, and just the cinnamon. You know, cinnamon grows in Sri Lanka, yeah? So cinnamon's another thing that goes into everything.
Okay.
Now this is really easy because you just empty the whole lot into a pot. Nisha, can you pass me the spoon over there, please? Thank you, darling. That's it, thank you. And for the coconut milk, I almost always use a block coconut over here. Because I find that if I open up a tin of coconut milk, quite often I don't use the whole thing, it's a waste. So I like the block coconut, and I'll dissolve it in boiling water to the thickness and the creaminess that I want. So this
tin is easier though. I mean, I just like to
Oh,
just
sure.
open tin.
Yeah, sure, it's easier, obviously. It's just a matter of opening it, isn't it? It's not all that creamy, as you can see. It's quite light. And you just put the whole lot in and give it a stir. Okay, and then just put it on the fire. It could take about maybe 20 minutes. You want it fairly soft, but you want a crunch still in it. All I've got on this plate is curry leaves, onions, and dill. Now, quite often we would use dill seed, but I didn't have any dill seed. So this is a little bit of an experiment, actually. Haven't done this one before.
Well, it's
So
improvisation.
let's see,
that's what
yeah,
I'm
we'll
doing
see if
now.
it works, right? Okay, so this thing's smoking now, right? Can you see it? Starts crisping up. Oh, I should get something with holes in it to take it out. Oh, don't look at my drawers, they're absolutely a mess. So if I take this out first, we'll leave those on the side, and we'll put the onions in.
Just seeing the line of fire there.
Yeah, you be careful. I should tell you, actually Rani will remember this, but when we were having our cookery show, we did a celebrity chef slot, right, on one of these breakfast shows. And the presenter was Paul Ross, you know, Jonathan Ross's brother. So just as we got the oil to a really high temperature, we were just about to chuck this in, he bent over the pan. And of course, the kale went in and it had some water, and it's all like that. And I think he lost his eyebrows, actually. We still talk about that. Oh, poor man.
So again, you have to do a bit nice there. No, very nice. Don't be right there.
Yeah, so you need to step back a bit, maybe. Start a bit of it first. Yeah, it's fine. There you go. Throw it in. And this will go on the cashew nut curry when the curry is ready. There we are. And you hear that sizzle when it goes in. It's lovely. And then we just add a little bit of salt to taste. Nisha, do you want to try this? And Matt? And Jen? That's what we're having for. Oh, you know what? Use these because they've got longer. Tell me if it's got enough salt for you. Put some more in. I like that texture. Do you want to try?
Do you eat a lot of curries in your family? Not really.
Never.
Can you try? Oh.
It's quite spicy.
It needs something. I think it
Oh,
needs a little bit more salt. Maybe lemon juice. Do you put lemon juice in it at all?
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I think it needs a little zesty.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And don't tell me it's not hot enough.
It's not hot enough. It isn't.
That's ready.
If you've never had a pressure cooker, this is a lifesaver, as I keep on saying. When it starts to hiss like that, the pressure's built up. You just pop that knob on and you leave it As soon as it starts to hiss again, you turn it down to very low and you start to time it from then. Now, we're going to go back to the paneer that I showed you. Now, some of the paneers are different to the others. The last one I used was so solid that it fried off properly. When I had a quick look, it was falling apart a bit. So I just put a little bit of extra salt on it to give it a bit of flavour, because paneer it's just made out of milk. It doesn't have any flavour at all. So I put a bit of salt and I've dusted it in a little bit of flour. And that way when it goes into the curry, it will be absolutely gorgeous. Here I've got my fried off peppers, and I've also put a bit of peas, because I always think peas and potatoes and peppers go really, really well. First time my dad went off to the Ideal Home exhibition when my mother was in hospital, he bought one of these and he didn't listen to the instructions, and he was cooking a chicken for us in there, a whole chicken, and he took that lid off and the chicken all went through there and onto the ceiling. We can time it from now. So it's now 20 minutes past 4. We'll give it 3 minutes and then we'll take it down and have a look at it. Well, this is interesting, now watching paint dry, isn't it? Here we go. This is what it looks like, the finished dish. I put in peas, just ordinary peas. I haven't cooked them or anything. And I put in the fried peppers, like I said, the green peppers, capsicum, and a few tomatoes for the colour. But can you see all of that lovely flavour? And also, you can see that it's a darker curry than to Indian curry. And here is our chicken curry. Again, just to add a little bit of colour, we'll chuck in a few bits of the pepper, stir it around. You see the potatoes, some of them have broken down and made it lovely and thick. And there you have it, your chicken curry, and that would have been made with a paste at any time. Keep a few jars of the paste in the fridge, and there you go.
And what do you think about the rest of it?
I'm loving it. I think the chicken's golden.
Yeah, coconut sambal. Well, in Sri Lanka they eat up everything, literally everything, from breakfast to...
Yeah, it's pretty good with just plain boiled rice, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean...
It's all nice, but...
And you know what, I mean, I've actually tamed it down, because Sri Lankan food is very hot, right? And usually the red curry in that case, the red colour in that as well, is normally chili powder, and I've put paprika to make up some of it. But it is really, really hot, or it can be.
Well, with that, now I'll put some more pepper sauce on that.
Okay, are you on again? That's a horrible cashew, isn't it? Very good, isn't it? Horrible.
These are dried cashew nuts that I got, and I soaked them in salted water. Oh, my big bum.
Everyone says that they think Justin and I are switched at birth because I've got a bit of mouth on me.
Oh, you're aggressive like me.
And-
Oh, my girl, right?
You want to have a go? Oh. There's my daughter. Here to watch.